8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Get in! The women have done it. Absolutely fantastic performance. 2-1. We've actually brung a European Championship home. It's now time for the men to stand up in the World Cup in the winter and bring it home for us. They've shown us how to do it, guys, so you need to do it. Before we get started tonight, very quickly, David Watson, Alan, Tony Duke smashed it in the tune, Jody Robson, Scott Moran, Christopher Stewart, David Renwick, and Mark Fleming. Thank you very much for joining or rejoining or upgrading your subscription in the last 6 days. I do this every Sunday. We pop in who's become a member and all that sort of stuff. So thank you very much for doing that in the last 6 days. Let's bring the boys in. Evening.
All right.
We're champions.
All right.
Yes.
Greatly.
Yeah. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I haven't watched many games. I did watch the semi-final and I did watch the final. So
cracking now. Cracking goal, the first one. Cracking finish. Pass.
Brilliant.
Brilliant pass.
Goal.
Honestly, it was a beautiful pass.
The pass reminded me of the one that Maxi got, but we're going to talk about that later. But beautiful little dink over the keeper as well. Maro, you just don't appreciate because you're obviously not English, but the women have won the European Championships today. It is unbelievable. Hopefully, this is going to skyrocket women's football in the UK. Hopefully, in the Northeast, and then we'll get more and more women in the Northeast playing football, and then our team will be even better. Are you jealous?
Yeah.
So you said yes. That's it. Enough.
Croatian women team is really bad, so I'm jealous.
They'll get better after this. I mean, this tournament's been fantastic and really shone a light on the women's team. And the only problem I've got is that some of the countries were terrible and it kind of put me off it. But the actual top teams play really good football, Pete.
Certainly do, don't they? They really, really do. And it wouldn't surprise me if a lot more people were going to go watch a lot of women's next season. I'll definitely be back to watching Newcastle United women for the new season as well.
That's good. I mean, they should be watching Man City and all them lot because they're absolutely brilliant. But there you go. Let's get to some chats very, very quickly. Then what we're going to do is going to move on to a subject that's very close to all our hearts. There's the link if you would like to become a member tonight. It's in the top of the chat. It's in 99p to $4.99. You choose what you think this channel deserves and what perks you want to pick up. So it's entirely up to you. Mark, evening, gents. The Lioness have done their country proud tonight. Well done all, especially Beth Mead from just up the road. Yeah, she plays for Arsenal, doesn't she? But she's from the Northeast. Hopefully we'll see Beth Mead in a black and white shirt one day. You never know. Good evening, everyone. Well done. The Lionesses justly deserved. I thought Germany, to be honest with you, were all over us in the second half, and I was getting very worried, especially going into extra time against Germany. It's like, crying out loud.
we looked a bit tired as the game wore on.
Yeah, exactly. Evening, Barry, the women showed passion and heart way more than the men's team. Absolutely deserved it. They did. Roy, thank you so much for the 50 krona, mate, very early in the show. If anyone else would like to donate tonight, $sign in the bottom right-hand corner. Hit that. Donate what you want. And it's like I say, we reinvest it back into the channel and into you guys who are members and stuff like that. So good evening, Baz. Hope you're well. I am Jody Robson. Still got a bit of a cough when I talk too much, so I'm going to try and let the guys do all the talking tonight. Played against Jill Scott when she was a kid. So chuffed, man. Come on, I'm not going to swear. Don't worry, Maro. The Croatian men's team are amazing. That is true. To be fair, they are very, very good. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about the women. Evening, Baz, and the rest of the lads. It's been a while. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for joining back again, Mansell. Guys, I thought I hadn't seen your name for a while. Right, here we go. We're going to talk about this guy. It's obviously been 13 years to the day that we lost one of our greatest, probably the greatest in my eyes. I tried to name my son after him, but the missus wouldn't have anything of it. So his middle name's Bobby. He was lost for words really when he left us. You know, it was so sad, his decline. But he always said he beat cancer 4-1, and that was his way of looking at it. You know, I never defeated him until it. You know, he still sees it as a win because he beat it more times than it beat him. Gary, what was your big standout moment, Bobby Robson moment? This was your question, so you better be ready.
You could write page after page, couldn't you?
Yeah.
From Gascoigne crying to,
God, yeah.
I'd say match-wise, it was the 4-3 against Manchester United at home.
Yes.
Because he put Craig Bellamy into Laurent Blanc and came up with a better tactic to beat one of the greatest managers in the world. And basically, Bellamy tore Blanc apart that day. Bobby won that game. But it's not many people will know this one. This sums Bobby up for me. I went to Derby away, and you know where the players come in? Come
Not
off the
Derby.
coach. Yeah. The players come off the coach, signed a couple of autographs, went in, and Bobby came out. And there was a line of kids and everything up there. And Bobby started at the bottom and started signing autographs. After about 5 minutes, some guy come out. I was right next to him at the time. Some guy come out and says, "You need to come in now." And Bobby just glanced at him and went,
"No."
Sorry? And he went, "You need to come in." He went, "I'm not finished." And he went, "But what they need you for press?" And he says, "Look," he says, "I'll be in 10 minutes." But he says, "I'm not coming in yet." He made sure everybody got an autograph. That's Bobby Robson.
Yeah.
Absolutely class. Unbelievable.
Spot on.
He was just a fan. Just a fan. It didn't matter where it was for us, Ipswich, England. He was a fan. Unbelievable. But that's my greatest moment.
Yeah, love it. What a moment. Maro, what about you? Have you narrowed it down?
I tried to think when Gary mentioned that. I tried to think about. I had 3 at first. I couldn't decide which one. Two were Newcastle related. One was not Newcastle related. It was Barcelona. His year at Barcelona, in which Ronaldo has his best season ever. They were flying that season. Even though they didn't manage to win La Liga, they were flying. And Ronaldo, I think he scored 34 in 37, and some of the goals he scored were really unbelievable. Then I had Sheffield Wednesday, his first game, 8-0, when Alan Shearer scored 5. It was he was coming, something similar to Eddie Howe now, coming after Bruce. He was coming after Ruud Gullit, who wasn't really appreciated much. Similar situation. But for me, it was the turnabout in the Champions League. I think it was 2002-3 when we lost first 3 games in a group and then managed to win the remaining 3. And never anyone before us did that. So it was a record also.
That's correct.
Moment. So I had to choose that one.
Yeah, I remember that well. Juventus Griffin goal, even though it was an own goal by the keeper, but Griffin got the credit for it. And that night in Eindhoven was PSV Eindhoven, wasn't it? It was Feyenoord, sorry, when we beat them 3-2 with Bellamy last minute winner. I remember just going erupting in
injury time.
Unbelievable
scene. Unbelievable.
I was in the San Siro. I went to that game.
Did you? Oh, the 2-2 in the San Siro.
Still one of the greatest games I've ever been in.
Yeah. Go on, Pete. What's your favourite Bobby Robson moment?
Oh, so many, from saving Shearer's career after what Hull did. Played in the Champions League with him as well. All things like that. Love the bloke. Best manager we've had. So passionate. Never walked out on the job as well. I was devastated when he got sacked by Freddie Shepherd.
Yeah.
Biggest mistake of all time.
Replaced by Souness.
The replacement was the worst thing. You can see why he was sacked, but I didn't like it either. It was the Villa game that was the downfall. One of the 2 players fighting.
Yeah,
an absolute nightmare. like you said, there's so many special moments. The one thing I remember when he walked in, and the one thing that always stood out for me is when I was in the pub and watching the game, as soon as Bobby Robson came on that TV, everyone went quiet. The whole pub just shh, everyone bang. Never seen it with any other manager at the moment. Not with Eddie Howe, not with Graham Souness, not with Kai Dalglish, not with Alan Pardew. Anyone like that after the matches, even if we'd won well, no one was that quiet anymore. And it was only with Bobby Robson. Everyone just went, right, let's listen to the great man. And that's probably the greatest moments for me, is that it's every single interview that he did, just listening, talking about football, making names up for Amiobi, calling them Cold Court. That was always a good one. But it was just that, the aura of the man and the respect that he was given, even though we're in a pub and he doesn't know we're listening, he doesn't know what we're saying, but everyone was just so quiet and just wanted to listen to what he said. And everyone waited until his last breath on camera before they started talking to each other again and got back on with the job. Even ordering pints stopped because people at the bar were like, no, I'll wait now. It was just unbelievable. Let's go back to a bit of a chat. We've done that one already. Evening bars, the rest of the lads, it's been a while. Hope you're doing well. We've done that one already, haven't we? There's quite a few already. If it's not quiet, you'll get your shed, Baz. I hope I'll get my shed eventually. Football came home, lovely, it did. Roy, again, thank you very much for the 100 Corona this time. Finally back from holiday so I can watch your show again. You've been on how long have you been on holiday for? Jesus, I've not seen your name for a while. It must have been a long-ass holiday. You jammy git. Evening, people, only 6 days till we get at it. And you see, big love for Bobby. That 4-3 was amazing. 4-3 was amazing. Everything was amazing with Bobby. Evening, lads. Good evening, all. The word legend is probably overused, but Bobby Robson was indeed a legend. I think he was. Is there a bigger word than legend? Because whatever it is, it's him. Bobby was a gentleman, nothing but love in his heart when he was really ill. Shearer and a few other went to see him. His first question was, how's Gaza doing? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like his dad wanted to save him and couldn't. Ronaldo summed it up. He said he was gutted he only had one season with Sir Bobby. He had so much to learn from him. The greatest gentleman of football, exactly. Gordon lightens the mood a little bit, back with the women. 2.5 seasons to take us to Champions League, from relegation candidates to top 3 in Champions League. He was unbelievable. He worked miracles for us, to be fair. What a genuine legend. Sir Bobby was a great man, a great manager. Cried my eyes out when he passed away. Absolute legend, yeah. The other one as well was with Pep Guardiola, because Guardiola wanted to come to Newcastle when Bobby left Barca to come here. And he said, I want to come with you. And he says, well, I've got Janice, I've got Dyer. You're not really going to fit in. And he said, I've never been let down so nicely in my life.
Well, didn't Kieran Dyer say numerous times, because I don't know if you remember, but remember we used to go in 1-0 down at half time under Bobby.
Yeah.
Sometimes at home, we were always getting beat at times, but you just knew they'd come out in the second half. And that's what Kieran Dyer said. He said we'd go in the change room, Bobby would walk in, and then 20% you just lifted. And then they'd come out and win the second half. They did it all the time.
It's crazy. There was a good one I heard from an ex-player before. I think it might have been Bellamy himself, that apparently Bellamy was given his mouth a little bit in the dressing room. And he was saying, you only won that game because of me. You only scored because I did all that hard graft. So Bobby walked in and went, hold on a minute. Are you Rivaldo? Are you Ronaldo? He just looked at him. He's like, no, shut up then. He just knew how to knock his players down a peg if they were getting too above themselves, basically. And, Bellamy was a great player under Bobby Robson, and it was a shame he left Newcastle, but obviously going to Liverpool was, at the time, was bigger than us, wasn't it? Really?
Souness again.
Yeah, exactly.
Souness forced him.
He did. Latest rumours, Forest and Newcastle in for Cornet, installments, Danny, come 1 next year, Fun 88, 6 mile run out. Don't know what that one is. The new one comes in maybe 20 million each season and other medium sponsors. Interesting. We are going to talk a lot about that that sort of stuff very soon. Like Noon now, 7 million each year. Let's say 5 medium sponsors more than Newcastle next summer. We'll have a lot more salary to pay players. It takes time to build after Ashley's 5-8 years. Of course it does, and it's well said that. Shepherd should never have sacked him. He should have gone upstairs. Yes.
Absolutely.
It all depends how ill he was at the time, because, I mean, the decline was quite sudden afterwards, wasn't it? So I don't know if that was obviously discussed maybe, and maybe he said, I want to manage, or I don't want to manage at all.
Yeah.
I would take Maddison, great player, as well as Kone, then great window for me. Also Werner on loan. We'll talk about them soon. Roy, again, thank you very much. Holiday for 4 weeks. Spent most of it in Benidorm.
Wow.
Jesus, I wish I could have a 4-week holiday.
Mm.
I never get the time off work.
I'm lucky to get 4 days, mate.
What's the crack, lads? We are getting Madison then. We'll talk about that later. You could tell the respect that Sir Bobby had of everyone by the fact that when he sadly passed away, there was not one single joke made about the great man anywhere of anyone. That is very true. Not even Sunderland or anything like that. It was just, Madison, amazing if we get him, definitely. We're trying to get Werner on loan. Apparently, any truth will come to all this. I hope we get Madison. I'll get his dad to give James my shirt to sign. Nice. Right. So this question got asked on YouTube a few days ago. Hi, Baz. Love the updates. What's our strongest 11 going into the Forest as it stands? So I didn't answer it. I wanted to leave it to this show because I thought that was a very good question. Maro's had a Maro.
Just noticed.
He's just vanished. So what do you think our starting 11 would look like, Gary, for Forest as it is right now? I don't think we're going to sign anyone.
Right. I'm going to stick with the team that I put on.
Malfunction. Technical problem.
Yeah, tomorrow.
So, Maro, we're just talking about this. What's our strongest 11 going into the Forest as it stands? Gary's going to try and think of his 11 very quickly.
Right. I put this on Twitter a couple of days ago, so I can't change my mind. Right. I went Pope. This is who I think will start. This is where I think Eddie will start. Pope, Trippier, Botman, Shaw, Target, Joe Linton, Bruno, Longstaff, ASM, Miggy, Wilson. 4-3-3. That's what I think he'll go for.
Pretty much read out what I did.
Yeah. Just Willock.
I think Willock because Shelby's injured, isn't he?
Yeah.
So that's the reason why. Pete, would you disagree with anything that's on there? Would you swap anyone out?
No, I think I would be happy to go with that lineup for the first game of the season if we don't bring anyone else in.
Yeah. I can't see that not being the team, to be honest with you. If everyone's fit that we've got in the squad.
I just hope it's not Lascelles.
Oh, Lascelles definitely. No. I think he was all right yesterday. He made a couple of mistakes, though, on the ball.
Oh, but it's the goal we conceded through them. He's part of it.
Yeah, the little dallion. Yeah, he gave the ball away, didn't he? He still did all right. I mean, again, for me, he's fourth choice. He's right at the back of the pecking queue for me. Maro, would you disagree or agree with that team? Or anybody else you would think that would push for a starting place? Maybe Fraser, maybe instead of Miggy, or maybe Fraser instead of Willock. A few people have said play Fraser in the deeper role.
For me, Longstaff, I agree with Gary. Longstaff showed more in these last couple of games in pre-seasons. I think he will start, and Miggy should definitely start because he had a really awesome pre-season. He's firing on all cylinders now.
Were you not impressed with Willock yesterday? I thought Willock played well.
He played well, but I think the last 3 or 4 games, for me, Longstaff was much more solid and better. To be honest, I'm a bit. I expected more from Willock in this preseason. He had some flashes, but
yeah, I think
he had some flashes, but he wasn't consistent. Sorry, Gary.
All right. I agree. I think Howe likes Longstaff. I think he's a big fan of him.
He does. I always said there was a player in there, and I said that he will be given a contract and he will be given a chance to get back to what he was under Rafa, and we're now starting to see that. But I just think Willock edges it because of his goal scoring threat. potentially at home, especially. Maybe
Away.
Sean would step into an away game where you got to win the midfield with Bruno and Joel Linton as like free enforcers, and Bruno obviously being that extra class to take it forward. But I think at home you want to be putting a lot of pressure on Forest. It's the first time back in the Premier League for a very long time. I think Willock would probably get the edge. It's interesting though, isn't it? It's a good debate. It was a good question.
It's good. I mean, I think there's a few others in there, not certain, but that's just what I think. I think Dan Burn could play. I think Dubravka could play in goal. But it's good having this. Ryan Fraser could play on the right instead of Mickey. But it's good having these options, like, because
it is.
I think there's only about 8 of them in that side who are certain. The rest, the other 3, I'm not sure about. But that's just what I think. But it's nice to have.
Yeah, well, it is. I mean, last year we could pick the team blindfolded. It was that easy to pick. With a couple of niggly injuries, you knew who was going to be playing. Now you've got, like I say, a decent strength and depth. Anderson could be in the mix as well. So that gives you Anderson.
Deserves a chance.
Yeah, exactly.
He was brilliant on Friday night.
Yeah, he was. And so that gives you Anderson, Fraser, Longstaff, to all 3 players considered who would potentially be starters if we didn't have the players that we have. And Miggy's really turned it around for me. He really has.
Yeah, I think that's got something to do with Jack Grealish. Honestly, I do. Because, and I'm changing the subject, but Grealish was dreadful yesterday in hockey.
Was he? I didn't see the game.
Shocking. I mean, he got taken off after 50 minutes. He was hopeless.
I heard someone put on a picture of him and put a rare picture of Grealish not drinking and standing up.
Yeah. It was.
I thought that was hilarious. But yeah, I mean, it might be, but it just might be the fact that Bruno's there as well. A bit of class in midfield that Miggy can bounce off. I think that is Liverpool getting beat 3-0.
That'll be their second string, won't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Because they played the Charity Shield yesterday. So.
Yeah, but we played 2 different strings and beat 2 class teams.
Yeah.
True.
I'm getting ahead of myself, aren't I? I really am. I really am getting ahead of myself. This is Ash's team: Pope, Trippier, Shaw, Botman, Target, Joe Linton, Bruno, Willock, Almiron, Wilson, ASM, same as mine. Spend 40 million with Quetta instead of 60 million. Madison, he's a good player, but we'll save 20 million. Could spend it on a striker. We're going to come to transfers a little bit later down the line. Hi, Maro from Mark. But starting 11 is Wood anywhere near. He's on the bench. Same as you, Gary, spot on. Pope, Target, Shaw, Botman, Trips, Bruno, Joel, Anderson, Miggy, Maxu, Wilson.
I'd be tempted to start Anderson, but I don't think he will.
Maybe. Apparently there's a... All right. Whereabouts, pal? I'm lost. I'll find him eventually. All right. Cheers, pal. Let's quickly move on to this. So this was the starting 11 on Friday night. Who wants to start off?
Well, I kind of vouch for the first 20 minutes like that.
The first 20 minutes was hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, from what was saw, the back line was solid as a rock. Anderson was the best player on the pitch, and we just lacked a bit going forward and in the middle. But we knew that because Bruno wasn't playing and Wilson wasn't playing and ESM wasn't playing. But the back line was rock solid, and that's all I'd say about that game because I didn't see the first 20 minutes.
Well, we didn't, did we? We tried to do a live watch along for it, and we were literally, I was scrolling through 100 million channels trying to find a link, and every link I found was the same one that was on the bloody website.
It was class, wasn't it?
It was brilliant.
Pete,
did you go Friday night?
Yeah, I was there Friday night as well.
What was it like?
It was not too bad. It wasn't great, but the majority of that team is not going to be. A lot of those players are going to be starting a lot of the games. I mean, Chris Wood for starters. I'm sorry, but he's awful. He's awful.
Scored. Played all right.
Well, penalty. Oh,
He did. He played all right.
hopeless. First off, he was hopeless.
He slows everything down, doesn't he?
He does.
He couldn't trap a bag of sand. He was that bad. He was that bad. Terrible.
I'll tell you the one thing I did see a difference with Chris Wood playing is the tactics changed a little bit. When the ball went long to him, he actually had runners off him. So when he was winning the flick-ons, there were people finally getting in behind the defence and trying to get onto things, which he's been missing. Because if you are going to play along to Wood, you've got to have runners. It's as simple as that. Mm-hmm. So that was the difference I could see. And maybe that's what Eddie Howe was looking at. It's like, I've got to win a different way sometimes. And that's why Wood started that game and seeing if it was a different way. But Maro, what did you make of the game itself? Considering it was almost our second string team, there was only about 3 players that would possibly get into the first team, which was Pope, Trippier, and Miggy, wasn't it?
Shaw as well.
Oh, Shaw. Sorry.
Shaw and Target. Well, the defense was really great, really solid, and Pope had a couple of great saves. He was insecure on 1 or 2 occasions, but we were really solid. Anderson, I'm really, really surprised in a good way in this preseason with him. He not only that he shows quality, but he's not afraid of the challenge. He's not afraid to run in, run forward, run with the ball. Really, really, he'll really be a good player. And well, as you said, that was mostly it. There wasn't much in attacking sense. There was not like yesterday, but the defensive play really, really put some hope in. And when you consider when we had Zapata and Muriel, which are really big, strong, fast strikers, and they barely showed anything. So great defensive performance.
Yeah, it was. And I think that was the one thing that stood out in that game was the defense. And then again, I mean, we looked at Zapata, didn't we, during the watch along, and we wanted to see what he was made of.
Yeah.
Now they are well behind in their preseason compared to us, so try not to take it with a pinch of salt. But he looked like a very frustrated figure, Pete. I don't know if that came out while you were watching him live.
Yeah, I heard something that the stream wasn't great, was it?
No, first 20 minutes it was
stubborn.
You couldn't watch it. It was impossible.
Yeah, could you?
It was terrible. But what did he make of Zapata live when you were watching him?
He looks good for pace, but I thought we dealt with him very well in the game. I think we do need someone. It'd be great to have someone who's got that bit of extra pace because there's no faith in Chris Wood at all. And I just still have that feeling Callum Wilson's not going to stay fit for a full season as well.
I keep having this argument with everyone. Remember, there's a World Cup in the middle. There's a 4 to 6 week gap. If you get them through 14 games, you can get them through another 14 games. That's the way I see it. Well, a bit more than that. Sorry, 18, 19, or something like that. But there's the cup games. Obviously, we've just got to rest them well. Make sure Eddie Howe knows how to manage Wilson. That's the difference between him and Bruce. Is Eddie Howe won't risk him. And that's where we will have to put up with someone like Wood or someone like that.
That's the problem. We've got Wood as cover.
Yeah, I know.
Murphy frustrated me at times on Friday night as well.
Who did, sorry?
Murphy frustrated me.
I think he's had his day now, me personally.
He had an opportunity in the first half which he should have shot, and he tried to pass thingy along the box, and there was no one there.
To me, I think he's done, to be honest with you. But again, still, it's a great win. Winning breeds confidence. 1-0, a clean sheet. Still with some better players to come in. We then move on to yesterday. It was a great day. I absolutely loved it. Paul Dummett, I basically picked the team, and I was actually right for a change. But everyone was like, why did we give Dummett a new contract? And I said, look, he'll be cover at left back and he can cover at centre back as well. And for me, I thought Paul Dummett had a really good game yesterday. We won it 2-1. It was great opening 15 minutes forward. We were very fast, good one-touch football. Wilson's goal was brilliant. But what was the shining light for you, Gary, through the whole of the 90 minutes? What was the one thing you picked out from that performance?
In my opinion, the best player we've bought since Alan Shearer.
Bruno. Yeah.
Absolutely unbelievable.
That
lad next season. I hope we push on next summer because that lad is going to get so many clubs after him. So
yeah. He's the difference from us finishing 12th next season to this season to finishing top
good.
8. Yeah.
He's that good. I thought ASM was dangerous. He's passing the ball more. Botman, solid as a rock. Botman's... I think we've got 2 players on our team at the minute who are potentially world-class. Yeah. And it's Botman and Bruno. Botman and Bruno are potentially world-class footballers.
Yeah.
And we just, like you said, the first 20 minutes. Pace,
football was good, wasn't it? One-touch football. Yeah, brilliant. Playing out from the back, which I've always said is very dangerous if you try and do it all the time. And we literally did it nearly every single time. And there was a couple of times we passed the ball back to Dubravka. I thought, fucking hell, that's an own goal.
They just look more confident, don't they?
Yeah.
They just, but I think it helps when you've got Bruno in the middle of the park. He's going to make anybody better. He's just a general in the middle, man. It's like Gerrard at Liverpool. He got Liverpool going. Lampard at Chelsea. He's ours. And if we keep him fit, he'll win us games on his own. Honestly, he's that good. He is that good.
I completely agree. Pete, what did you get out of the game itself? What did you enjoy the most?
Yeah, I thought we did well in the game. You could tell towards the end we started to tire a little bit. But again, Bruno was absolutely fantastic. It really, really was. The first goal was scored. It was good link-up play between ASM and Richie to put it through the Wilson. His holder play was also brilliant as well. And the second goal was scored. The pass from Joe Linton was fantastic as well. And ASM started to look a lot more confident, and we could well see the player next season because he's normally missed a lot of one-to-ones at times. But he thought this time it's going in the far corner. The keeper's got no chance of saving that. And that is exactly what he did, which was absolutely great to see.
Yeah, 2 names you mentioned there. ASM, obviously, I don't know if you watched my video from today, but I did the warm-ups, the goals they were scoring. And before I had a chance to get my phone out, I was watching an ASM miss 3 in a row, and I thought, oh, fucking hell. But he really showed his composure to score that goal. He was fantastic. And the other man that everyone wants to sell, Matt Ritchie, I thought he was brilliant. And I know I really did. And if you watched him in the warm-up, he never missed. He never missed one shot in the warm-up. The guy has got a quality left foot. And again, if we're not going to be bringing in any more reserves, Matt Ritchie deserves to have a squad number. I know he's not the greatest, but I thought he had a good game.
It wasn't too bad. Yeah, I thought he did all right yesterday.
Did some great stuff down the right, some lovely little passes. Got into some good areas. Final ball let him down a couple of times, but other than that, I thought he showed a good composure and a good game.
The only worry I'd say about the game was, I think, they were not a bad side. Like, I mean, they were a good side, but I thought we just got tired as the game went on, and
we haven't been using the subs as much as I thought we would.
But nothing major to worry about because,
no, definitely not.
I mean, obviously, Target's going to play left back. I thought Dummett looked tired. That's why he brought the young lad up.
Yeah.
And I think, but apart from that, the first 20 minutes, joy to watch.
Yeah. I mean, Dummett is just going to be covered through the season. Yeah. But again, that's why he got the contract, because he can put those solid performances in. I thought he had a good game as well. Maro, what about you? What was your standout for the friendly games, especially yesterday?
It was a great game for a friendly, and Wilson's goal was amazing. And in the end, the 2 defenders, the one closest to the goalkeeper, he had no idea where Wilson is, and just when he fell down, he just he had his hand up. He was hoping there would be foul, but there was no way. He was really, really good composure, really good play for first Maxi, then Richie, and the second goal, both passes from Bruno and Jelton. And Maxi really seems to be a different player now.
Yeah.
All pre-season, he's not trying to overtake far players. He's checking back. He really looks like he's going to be a great player this season.
Yeah. Well, my standout, if I can pick the right one, was this. I've just got to turn the volume off, otherwise I'll get done for it. But I want to show this again because it's my little boy going into St James's Park for the first time. Had to climb all those stairs all the way up to level 7, and he's still enthusiastic. I was blowing, I was sweating. I honestly, sweat on my brow, on my back. I might as well have took a dip in a pool. I was that wet. But look at him running. He's like, oh, wait a minute, I'm a bit high up here. And then, boom, just seeing that hallowed turf for the first time. And he was glued to that post. I just wanted to, it's just like, yay! Yeah, I love it. But it was amazing. And after that, I went, like, Daddy's got to go and get a drink because Daddy was thirsty. And I got a drink and I'm standing there drinking. He's like, I want to go back out. I'm like, I can't take a bottle out, mate. You just got to wait. I was like, yes, he's fallen in love. I think I've stolen March on York City now, which is the main thing.
Because shouldn't be too difficult, though, should it?
It shouldn't be, but his favourite person's his granddad, you see.
Oh,
so
right.
If his granddad takes him to a game, I could lose it completely. So I was like, I've got to get in there first.
Yeah.
And I managed to do it. Don't get me wrong, I think Paqueta was good. I think there was a bit of an argument in the chat about Paqueta and Maddison, but we're all entitled to opinions, remember. We need competition for Wilson. Wood is clearly a backup. He is just a backup. Paqueta or Maddison, don't care. Either one of them, sign them up. Right, we'll talk about Paqueta a little bit before we go to the next section, because I want to talk about the fans and everything as well. But this keeps coming up a lot. Paqueta or Maddison. If we're going for Maddison now, there must be a big reason why, because Paqueta must be off the cards. The deal must be difficult to do. There must be something not allowing us to do it. And I think it's part of the takeover or something like that, because you're not going to sign Maddison and Paqueta in the same window.
No.
So,
I don't know. I think we'll get one of them.
Yeah.
I wouldn't rule Paqueta out yet. But both of them, I mean, I've got my opinion on who's the better player. Right? I think Paqueta is the better player.
Yeah.
But the two of them would massively improve that team.
Oh, massively.
And I would take Maddison tomorrow. Absolutely.
Yeah,
I never thought he was a name that never cropped up in my mind because I didn't think it was a player we could get. I thought Ward-Prowse was more of a chance because he was at Southampton. I thought Leicester were more stable. And if rumours are true that he's interested in coming, then I mean, there's a possibility he could come, but I still wouldn't rule Paqueta out there. But we'll see what happens in the next few days.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting. It's just nice to have these conversations, and instead of talking about trying to get Nasser Chowdhury from Leicester over the line on deadline day on a loan. So, Maro, what do you make of the situation?
Well, they are both amazing players, and I would love to see one of them. But who knows? Paqueta is more of a midfield player, and Maddison can play the wing great. So who knows? Maybe it's even possibility they bring them both, and with those two, we would instantly become one of the most creative sides in the Premiership with those two in the side.
Yeah, I mean, but I just don't think we've got the money to buy both. I think that's the issue. PDP, what's your thoughts on the situation?
It's a very interesting one, isn't it? I mean, I would like well, I would take definitely have both. If both of them came, that would be brilliant. But it would probably just be one of them for this transfer window. But it's a hard one because they're both really good players. I think
sorry,
Paqueta. I'm looking towards Paqueta more because if it's rumours that they could sell for around about 30-odd million, then that's about where Leicester are asking for 60 million for Maddison, apparently.
Yeah, well, there's 50 million, 60 million. There's a lot being quoted for them. But Paqueta, they still want quite a bit as well. And nothing's really been said what the price is at the moment.
Yeah.
So, and again, with the battle that's going on in-house with Leon, with the shares and trying to buy enough to acquire the club himself, it's very... I don't know. I just don't know if it's going to happen because of that. I think Go on, Gary.
I was just going to say, if rumours are true that we're speaking tomorrow, then we'll see what happens. But I truly believe it's Eddie wants Maddison.
Yeah.
I
It's
think
English,
it's written.
Premier
Yeah,
League
it's written
proven.
all of it. I think Paqueta is probably a player they've been interested in, but the fans have pushed that one quite a bit. But I think, do you know what it is? Maddison is a fantastic footballer. Improved that side massively. But Paqueta, there's people in France tell you that Paqueta is better than Bruno.
Yeah.
Now,
Really?
is Maddison better than Bruno?
No.
No, I don't think so. Right? Maddison's a
question.
fantastic footballer, but apparently they'll tell you in France Paqueta is better than Bruno. So, but I'll tell you, I'd take any of them. Honestly, I would.
Yeah, I would as well.
I would take Maddison tomorrow. Be happy about that.
Playing out from the back now, Wacky. We didn't used to do that, so it's a different style of play now. I've seen other teams do it and do it wrong, but we did it with a purpose, and I think that's the difference. That ball line splitting pass from Botman, from his, remember when we passed the ball around our own box, and I thought, oh God, here we go to the right, and then back into, and then went to Botman, and he played a ball that split the midfield up into, I think it was Joe Linton's feet, wasn't it? Or it might be Wilson's.
Yeah.
But it was a beautiful ball along the ground. And that's the difference now, Wacky, is that we're actually passing the ball around with a purpose and a desire and a reason. Where in the past it was like, oh, we need to try and play out from the back. How do we do it, sort of thing, because we weren't used to it. And that's where all the mistakes came in against Leicester, against Man City and all that sort of stuff. So Howe tried to change things a bit too quickly, and it backfired a little bit. He learned from it, and now he's changed it in pre-season, and now we're seeing the benefit of it. So expect us to keep a lot of the ball now. So it's going to be interesting seeing the percentage stats this season. And Wilson finally moved to Newcastle, less travel, more recovery. Yes, that is huge. Hi, my friends. 35, 187 in the chat. I'm going to share Barry LinkedIn and Facebook and Twitter to grab more. Thank you, pal, as always. And don't forget to hit the like button, guys. It really helps to share the algorithm and all that sort of stuff. We definitely look better with the ball, though. We do. And it's weird because I never thought we would say something like that about us. Wood and Murphy part exchange for Corney. That's not a bad shout, you know. I mean, Burnley need players. We've got some players who work well.
I think there might be something in that, you know, why this Cornea deal isn't like, I don't understand the Cornea deal because that could be done tomorrow. But
if
why
we pay what they're asking and do the,
it's an easy deal, but nobody seems to be taking that easy deal. So it's clear that some want a loan, but I've got a feeling Newcastle are trying to part exchange players too.
Potentially. And I think that would work better for them. There is a rumor that we'll pay more for them, but we will pay it in installments rather than the 17.5 million straight up front. That's what I heard as well. Because of FFP, they want to try and, because we've never done this in the past with Mike Ashley. He's just paid up front straight away. But he's also asked for money up front for his player sales. So if you look at other clubs, they owe out like possibly 80 million. In the future, where we owe nothing, and that's why we're sort of a well-run club. But we're now, because of FFP, trying to stretch it as much as possible. 17.5 million taken straight out of it might not seem like a lot to us in transfers, but to the club and the FFP, it obviously is. So they want to try and structure the deal over, say, 3 years or something like that instead.
There was a rumor going around that Pope. I think Pope cost them about £3 million, £5 million, something like that. It was something ridiculous. And
5 million up front, and then a couple of installments that can be triggered when Burnley want to trigger them or something like that. So I'm not too sure how it works. It's weird. Right, we'll come to transfers soon. I just want to put this up. Keith Downey's tweet was brilliant. 87,500 supporters at James's Park across 2 friendlies in the past 24 hours. You tell me any other club out there who could do that.
For a friendly.
2 friendlies.
You know what it is? If that had been separate friendlies, it would have been full both times. It was because it was a Friday and a Saturday. No. I mean, possibly Liverpool, but nobody else.
Yeah. No one in the Premier League.
No. Liverpool are the only one, I reckon, who could
Could
do
come
something
close.
like that. Yeah.
I wonder
That's
how
my
many is at Liverpool tonight, because obviously with them being at Wembley the day before, that would be interesting, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
The only team I can think of who might possibly do it is Barcelona back in their prime. You know, everyone wanted to watch them, didn't they?
Yeah.
But no one in the Premier League in my eyes. Maro, does that make you proud seeing those figures and seeing how many people went to St James's Park?
Definitely. The atmosphere was amazing. And when you consider that some clubs like City or Chelsea sometimes can fill the Champions League games, except the biggest ones. And if we played Conference League, every game would be full, and it would be probably demand would be doubled, and the tickets on sale. So it does really make you proud.
Remember, there were £20 a ticket as well.
Yeah. £10 for kids, £20 for adults.
£20 a ticket.
Or you could have a deal where it was £35 for
yeah, for both the games, yeah.
Or 15 quid for kids for 2 games, which is really good in my eyes. And I don't think 20 quid's that bad.
But we've some have been slating the price, haven't they?
But it used to be 20 quid until we were shit and we were playing much better opposition. So I don't understand that.
No, neither do I.
Pete, what's your thoughts on the crowd turning up twice? You know,
Absolutely.
40,500 the first game on Friday, wasn't it?
Something like that was. That's just brilliant. They could tell they're looking forward to the season starting as well, and just to see that many those many faces in the crowd was just absolutely fantastic. It really, really was.
Yes, Corney can play left back as well as that, but he's a very attacking left back, so I particularly wouldn't want to play him there. But there we are. Werner, Sesko, Corney, Madsen, Draxler, or Paqueta would finish off the window and push us towards top 6. What, all of them? Would be one in top 4. I'm being greedy now. Totally agree, Gary. We need 2 or 3 of the same level as Bruno and Botman. We only need 1 now to break that top 8 in my eyes. I mean, we could probably break top 8 anyway.
If we get, I'll just say these 3. If we get Corney, Maddison, and Werner, that will seriously push West Ham and Man United this season.
Yeah, I agree.
That whole team will. They'll frighten them too. And obviously the top. I don't think the top 4. I think Arsenal have spent well. So I'm still not sure about Chelsea. Kind of think of what they're going to do this season, but they'll still be in the top 5. But I think that I see we're pushing West Ham, Man United if we sign them 3 players.
Yeah,
which is a possibility.
2020. Thanks, Paul. Appreciate that as always. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Let's move on to this little topic very quickly. So, war flags were donated by Atletico Club Bilbao. Joint flag. I mean, it's a bit of red and white in our stadium. It makes me a little blood boil a little bit, but we do have a good relationship with the club. I used to always love watching Atletico Bilbao play when I watched a lot of Spanish football back in the day. They were one of my go-to teams to watch for attack and flow in football. And it's just nice. And they won Twitter today, didn't they? Did you see the video that their club put out? It gave me goosebumps. It was brilliant watching it. Maro, you saw it. What did you think of it?
It was amazing, and they were tweeting all day, not just one tweet, but they tweeted a lot. And there was also an interview from their president where he mentioned the first link in the UEFA game 30 years ago, and how they see our fans as an example of how fans, when they come to other European teams, how they should act and with the passion, but without causing problems and stuff. So it was really, really nice to see. And when you consider it's a great team, they're still the only team in the world that still haven't bought any player that's not Basque.
All right.
So they only have Basque players, either Spanish or French Basque, but never had in the history another player, any foreigner.
Wow, that's crazy.
Amazing team.
Just so great at 8K. I don't know what 8K is. Any other transfer? There's no other transfer news tonight. We're just wrapping up the week. That's what we do on this show. If I get messaged anything from Steve, and I'm sure he'll tell me. Oh, and by the way, we're sold out all the badges. The crests are gone. At last, the last one was sold today. I'm very happy. I can now sell these benches instead. Can see Murphy going to Burnley plus the cash for Cornet. Yeah, that would be a sensible deal to do. Celtic to fill Parkhead 2 days running. Celtic possibly could. But we're talking about Premier League though, Mark, not Scottish football. Rangers could possibly do it as well. I think we're going to need a bigger boat very, very soon. I agree with that. A lot of people wouldn't. Botman said no other stadium anywhere like what he saw at St James's Park. Exactly. Can you believe Bruce is still? Oh God, yeah. Let's not bring his name up. Let's just move on from him. Make him irrelevant. That's what we need to do. He's just a prick. We have a good bench for sure. That's what we need. We are better than West Ham, even if we make no more signings. We'll be pushing them. No kidding, Bazati, Lyle. Yes, he is. Bilbao, one of the 3 teams never relegated from La Liga with Barcelona and Real Madrid. That's interesting as well. Didn't know that, Mark. Lots of other Prem clubs linked with Corner. We have to act fast if we want to. But everyone's been linked with them, though, and no one's actually pushed and done a deal. So I don't quite understand what's going on with it, to be honest with you. God, Maz has turned into Del Boy with his selling. Was you upside the ground with your suitcase and stuff? I nearly robbed one of the program selling stands so I could sell my badges on it instead. Right. We've been talking about him a lot. He's the first man we're going to talk about on the transfer front. Maddison is obviously hot topic. There's a lot of tweets going out. It's really hard to understand what's real and what's fake. I did a video. We got information from Steve saying that there's talks tomorrow happening. Leicester, I think, have also come out and said he's not for sale. There's rumours that Chelsea are in for Fafana, and who was the other one? There was another player.
What, for Chelsea? For Leicester?
Yeah, from Leicester, yeah, Fafana and someone else. That could stop us from signing Maddison, because if Chelsea signed 2 of their big stars, they're not going to sell Maddison as well.
The rumour is that they want £80 million for Fafana. They're not going to pay him. That's it.
Exactly. That's funny, but as a prick is useful. Well, it's filled 2 prams. Absolutely still what an arse. Yeah, he is an arse. So Tillemans, it might have been Tillemans Chelsea were after. Tillemans and Fafana. It might be Arsenal after Tillemans. But I mean, there's been loads of rumours, so it's hard to understand what's going to be true and what's not. Maddison Amaya is one of the best attacking midfielders in the Premier League. Such a technician. I love watching them play. I really do. We both wouldn't hesitate. We must learn from our mistakes. But we have, because we haven't rushed this window. Just join, lads. Watch the news quickly, please. We won 1-0. We won 2-1. Bobby Robson's a legend. Maro had a Maro. And Steve Bruce is a prick. So there you go. Barca have taken all 4 of Chelsea's transfer targets this season. Yes, they have. And God knows how. Yes, but only 45 million, not 60 million. Yeah, this is the thing. 60 million seems too much. Werner odds, obviously Leipzig 5-4, Newcastle 5-2, stay at Chelsea 3-1. Yeah, it has. So it's all interesting. But we're talking about Maddison still. Pete, what do you make of the rumours? Obviously, we've been told talks are going to happen tomorrow. £40 million bid was rejected. They're going to go back in with an offer of 50 million is the rumour. Should we be pushing this hard for Maddison? I'm on the fence. That's 50 million.
Well, he probably isn't worth more than what Leicester are quoting him, but I think because Leicester will want to keep him because he's one of their better players. It wouldn't surprise me if we were to go in with an improved bid and Leicester may just accept it. So it's a possibility.
It's such a knife-edge situation. It's great to be linked with players like Maddison because, like I said, he's goals, he's free kicks, he's vision. He can run a game when he's on it, but he does go missing a bit as well, Gary, doesn't he? So this is the other thing: is he really worth 60 million when he doesn't really get in the England team?
I think that might be part of the reason why he's looking to come as well with the World Cup. I mean, if the rumours are true that he wants to come, that's a bonus. I think 60's not right. I don't think it's that high. I think it's true that they bid 40 million. Sky wouldn't put that on if it was wrong.
No, they definitely wouldn't.
No, I think if we want him, 50 million, he's out.
Yeah, 50
That's what
million,
I
you
reckon.
think we'll get it?
Yeah, I think 50 million would get him. Because I think if he wants to come, he'll push him over and they'll accept 50 million.
Ash would take 50 million. Apparently, Leicester are cash strapped. I don't understand how.
Yeah. Well, I put this out, and there was a few Leicester fans got back in touch, and they said they've overspent. And do you know that stadium?
Yeah.
The King Power had something to do with the name of the name of the stadium.
Yeah.
Because of COVID, they missed out on money for that 2 years.
Right, for the name and rights of
didn't-
sponsorship and stuff like that. Is that right?
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know how true it is, but and he said they've just overspent on wages, and because the Premier League have changed rules, says it's put them a bit in a dilemma. So
also, the training facilities were fantastic, and that cost them a lot of money as well, didn't it?
So they reckon they're going to sell one big player. And they don't even know if that'll fund other players, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
so
it's more filling the void.
Yeah, so they could possibly sell two. One to pay whatever they've got to pay to stay in the rules, and the other one to buy signings.
Jesus.
So, I mean, I don't know how true it is, but that's just what I was told. So,
yeah, I would love that.
I mean, that is frightening. That
there is that as well, though, isn't it? Apparently, Rodgers is falling out with Rodgers, and Rodgers has got a habit of that, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's always falling out with players. Whenever Rodgers comes out and says a player's not for sale, just take that with a pinch of salt.
Yeah.
It's up the owners. Mate, it's like Steve Bruce coming out and saying, so and so is not for sale, and Mike Ashley,
we did that with Andy Carroll, didn't he? Pardew said he wasn't for sale, and then 45 million later, he's off down the road to fucking Liverpool.
It's up to the owners. It's up to the owners. They make the decision. Doesn't matter what managers say. I mean, the one thing I'll say about Newcastle is I think they're going through Eddie Howe with everything. So, to me, Maddison is not... I don't think he sounds like a PIF signing. I think Paqueta sounds like a PIF, but he's definitely an Eddie Howe signing.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I'd pay the 50.
Yeah, I'd pay 50 if that's what would get him. I wouldn't go to 60 though, personally. I think that's a bit too much. Maro, what about you?
I agree. 60 will probably be a little too much at the moment. And if they don't want to do the deal under 60, I would just go for Paqueta, because I think 50 would be enough for Lyon for Paqueta deal. But at 50, Maddison will still be... He's probably not the best attacking midfielder, like somebody mentioned in the comments. He's not at the level of Kevin De Bruyne, but he's not that far off. He's among 3 or 5 best attacking midfielders in England.
Yeah, just on the Leicester thing, this is why I've said we'll have a better season than Leicester, and why they struggled last year is they don't have the strength and depth, and they're not signing anyone. And if they're going to sell the best players, they're going to be in big trouble. They'll be finishing bottom half of the table.
I think the problem was they were expecting Tielemans to be away by now.
Really?
This is what I heard from his fans. They were expecting him to be away, and he's not. Now, is he running his contract down? So, because I think he's got a year left, hasn't he? So, I think technically he's going to be a free soon. Leicester want rid of him because he's not going to sign a contract.
Yeah.
But it's they're just a bit. I don't think they're skint as a football club, but I think that they're close to the FFP.
Yeah. Which is the issue.
Yeah, and I think they don't want to end up like Everton, basically.
Right. Is ASM £20 million worth more than Maddison? I think our £75 million valuation of ASM is a hands-off price. He is not worth 75 million yet. If he has the season we think he will have, then yes, he is. But at the moment, no. But it's a hands-off. Nicholas Pepe, yes or no? Would you take him?
No.
Rumours are obviously now circulating after we mentioned him a while ago. He is available, so
he's no better than Fraser Miggy.
Well, there you go then. 45 million and better also, chaps. I don't know if that's going to get him though. Nicholas Pepe, no for me, very inconsistent. The amount of quality players going for 40, 45, I'd say 50 might be a bit much. Potentially, this is a good one. Baz, if you 4 lads had to sign one player from abroad realistically that we have not been linked with, who would you choose?
Oh.
God, that's a good
Realistic
question, isn't it?
player from abroad that could be done.
Oh, that is a good question, isn't it?
It is. Come on, Maro. Get your thinking cap on.
Right, I've got one.
Go on then, Gary. You go first then.
Guri.
Ooh,
We've been linked with them, haven't we? We've been linked.
Yeah, we've been linked with them. Yeah. This can't be linked.
Can it be linked? Oh God.
Haven't we been linked with everyone though?
Just about. That's the problem.
Oh wow, Jan's on form there. I'd swap ASM for Madison any day. Whew.
Right, this might be going over the top a bit, but Savage
All right.
in the middle of the park.
Yeah. We've been linked with him though, Jan.
Have we?
No. Protect, whatever I pronounce his name. We've been linked with him.
I mean, I'm saying it's a chancy one because he's probably a bit too high at the minute. But it's still something that I wouldn't see as a possibility, but it's something that I would definitely test the water with. It's a fantastic player.
Pete, what about you? Can you think of anyone?
I think I'm gonna go the line with Gary Savage as well. I think he's really good as well, isn't he? He's quality.
I don't know a lot of them, to be honest with you.
But, he's quality, but honestly, quality.
We've been linked with him, Michael, I'm afraid. And Lamptey's not abroad, and I don't want him.
You wouldn't have Lamptey?
No. I think he's not been the player that he was after his big injury, so I'm not sure I'd take him. Maro, who's your player?
I would go for Lovro Mayer from Rennes, a Croatian player. He can play same as Madison, right wing and central midfield. I don't think we've been linked officially. We mentioned him in the group, Andrew and me. He's a big Rennes fan. We mentioned him, but I don't remember he was linked officially. He's great player.
Yeah, solid to that. Yeah, basically we've been linked with everyone. Payet, there's a shout in it. Jamal Musiala and Bayern.
Yeah, he's young, isn't he, Maro?
Yeah.
Yeah, he could be a good player.
Plays for Palace. Actually, he's not abroad. It's like, come on, guys, read the question.
I was trying to think of a defensive midfielder, but nobody was.
We haven't been linked with. That's the problem.
We've been linked with. This question would have been easy under Mike Ashley, but.
No, it wouldn't, because it's realistic. Who would realistically come to Newcastle?
Yeah.
Cavani, I love it. Oops, I love it. I honestly don't know. Because we've been linked with everyone that I like, which is always an issue. I mean, realistic's the problem as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
If we could sign anyone right now who's abroad, and we want to sell shirts and we want to see a great player in the black and white who we would never get to see if we don't sign them now, would be someone like Zlatan or Messi, just because they are who they are. But there's a good one. But we've been linked with him.
What happened now?
But Swai, we've not been. He's Chelsea. Mbappe. We've been linked with him as well as soon as the takeover happened.
As soon as the takeover happened.
Try Miggy as centre forward cover, especially if you're winning. His pace off the mark would destroy more centre backs. It's true, to be fair. We've been linked with him as well. Here's another solid question. If you had to sign one player past or present from Sunderland to fit in the team now, who would it be? That is a good question. It's easy for me as well. It would be Nolan.
If you had to say one player past or present from
when we beat Sunderland 5-1.
Oh, when we beat Sunderland.
Yeah. From that team, I would take Nolan.
Yeah.
Or would it be Andy Carroll? Potentially. He was in it as well.
I
Because
might
it wasn't a
change.
great team we had then. It was a battling team. Joey Barton was in it. Santon, was he playing then as well?
No, he didn't come till next
No,
season
next
after.
season afterwards.
I'm gonna change it up a bit. Did Jonas play then?
He did,
No.
yes.
Oh, did
Yeah,
he?
I'm going Gutierrez.
Really?
Yeah,
Yes, he did play.
1,000,000%.
Maro, what about you? Yeah, he did because we
I would
went
go-
down and then he come back up, didn't he?
I'd go with Jonas too. He would solve our right wing problems at the
Aye,
moment.
that's why I went for him.
Yeah.
We need a goal scoring midfielder as well, though. And Kevin Nolan was brilliant at that. I love Nolan. I think he was excellent.
So did I.
Nico Rovelli, anyone know? Maro, you're our foreign correspondent.
Young Italian player. I think he's center midfield, 20 years. Big talent, but still not reached the heights.
Right. Ooh. CR7 is not abroad. Come on, Danny. We've been linked with everyone and anyone under the sun. That's so true, Nelly. Diop, we've been linked with him.
That's a good shout.
That's
a good shout.
Didn't he play
That's
golf?
a good shout.
Does he not play golf?
No. You're thinking of somebody else.
He
plays
it's a
in-
joke. It's a joke because his name looks like Elazabal, doesn't it?
Oh, from Spain. Who does
Been
Musa
linked with
Diop?
him. Would you sell St James's Park to pay him Mbappe's wages for a year? No. Simple question. Simple answer. Robelin Norman, anyone know him?
Never heard of him.
It's probably a joke question, joke name, and I haven't worked it out yet. Real Madrid are trying to hijack the Broja deal, but surely if you wanted to play games, you would choose Newcastle.
Are they?
I don't not heard that, to be honest with you, but Colo was in it as well, to be fair. Colaccini was part of that team.
I like what defense so
I know, me too.
It's
Rafa from Benfica.
Yeah, he was good the other night, wasn't he?
No, I don't think he means who plays for Sunderland, because that would just be a stupid question because there'll be no one.
Well, there's one player I would pick from Sunderland.
I've been with Rosherman. Where have you been, Michael?
Yeah,
we've definitely have. And Souček's name has come up a few times as well.
We've been linked with him every year, even on that, like since Mike Ashley.
Right.
Osman's just started.
I'm sure we've been linked with him.
And Kuku was a couple of links, but Man United and Liverpool have been taking most of them. But we have been linked with them.
Carroll, when he was at his best, we could do with him now, even though he turned out to be a waster. It's true. I mean, Carroll or Nolan, but I would just go with Nolan. But again, I take them both because their relationship is a bit like the Paqueta and Bruno one, isn't it? Tiote, I forgot about him.
I was trying to think who played in that game. To be honest,
Sean, it was a long time ago. Yeah, Sean scored 2 in that game as well.
Scored 2.
But from that game itself, Nolan scored a hat-trick, so you just take it off the back of that game, don't you? So there's Kone. We spoke about him quite a lot. Let's chat a little bit more about him. So Newcastle are saying 17.5 million up front is too much. They're talking about wanting to pay it in installments because of FFP, I guess. Apparently, we're at advanced stages of the talks, so it is very interesting. Don't know why it took this long, but I guess it's because we couldn't get the targets we wanted. But Cornet, for me, is a good squad player, does improve the team as well when he's on the right wing, potentially. Would you be happy, Gary, if Cornet came?
6 weeks ago, I wasn't like a big fan, but I'm starting to come round to the idea. I've saw a lot of West Ham fans saying that they should make a move for him. So I started looking into him a bit more. I thought, was I being a bit harsh on him? And he's a finisher. That's for certain. He's got pace. Yeah. I just find the whole situation bizarre with him.
Yeah, me too.
I just don't understand it. Why did Everton buy Dwight McNeil when they could have had him for cheap? I don't understand why he's still at Burnley and why people didn't want to pay them.
The one was installments, that's why.
Yeah.
So Corney they wanted the money straight up because Everton can't afford to pay straight up money.
But if we're like making a bid of like 25 million for Jack Harrison, why wouldn't have gone a Corney for 70.5. I just the whole thing, I don't understand it. Not Newcastle's part, I just don't understand it.
Yeah.
With every other club linked with him as well. But right now, he's one of the 3 I've got down that I would take.
Yeah, I'd take him, definitely. Pete?
Yes, I would. I think I would definitely take Corney. I think 17.5 million to steal now these days in the transfer market. I think you definitely improve our squad.
I think you will. Quite over my son. Maro, what about you on Corney?
I agree. I would take him, especially for that kind of money. Not sure whether he could play right wing, but there's always an option with him being a squad player or Maxi moving to the right. But he is a good player, and it's really not a lot of money.
Yeah, there's a good point as well. If we buy Maddison, it obviously weakens Leicester as well. So if we got Corney and Paul for 27 million combined, then it's ridiculous. Yeah, there is. Here's the team that beat the Macrums: Krul, Cole, Jose Enrique, Williamson, Simpson, Nolan, Barton, Jonas, Tiote, Carol, and Amiobi.
Yeah, I'm still going Jonas.
I'm still going Nolan.
Anyone
else changing?
No.
Just Corney. We are not in for Cornetto. No, we're not in for Cornetto. We're in for Corney. Papis Cisse. He's not coming back.
I bet you would.
You probably would, yeah.
Jump with a chance.
Werner's another one, and obviously Brozier from Chelsea. Personally, myself, I would leave Brozier and just concentrate on Werner. He's got a point to prove. It's a World Cup year. He needs to play. I've heard that in the Southampton contract, when they got Brozier, he needed to play 80% of the games. That was part of the deal. Now, Brozier's not going to get that with us at all, not even close to that. So the Werner loan to an option to buy or obligation to buy, especially with the amount of players Chelsea have signed, I think that's a no-brainer to do, Maro. Would you agree?
I agree. I would take Werner over Brozier, and it would be interesting to see how he fits with Eddie Howe, because he was an amazing player at Leipzig and he was misused at Chelsea. So he's still a good player. He didn't forget to score, but he was just used in the wrong way, and I'm sure Eddie Howe would find a way to utilize him.
Yeah, I agree. Belotti, I honestly just think he wants to stay in Italy, and I think that's the reason why we've not bothered. A lot of other clubs are sniffing around him, and Eddie Howe is looking for Premier League proven players, which is why this guy is definitely a massive shout, PDP.
Certainly is. I know he's not had the best times at Chelsea so far, but who says he wouldn't come to us and he might do a lot more better?
Yeah, I think he could. Gary, what's your thoughts on him?
I was a bit negative about him a couple of weeks ago, but
so was she, apparently.
Yeah, was he?
Yeah,
but I've looked into him, and when he was in Germany, he scored an absolute bag full of goals. He assisted a bag full. Now, that tells me, right, he's come to the Premiership for big money. He's went to Chelsea, who have a habit of, like, I don't know, bringing players in and not giving them their full potential, basically. So, if Eddie Howe wants him, I think Eddie Howe will get the best out of him, and I would take him tomorrow.
Yeah, I think
he'll do a cracking job. He could play wing, he probably could play up front. He's one of those, isn't he, where he could just play along the front line. It doesn't matter where you put him. So, I think Eddie will get the best out of him. I think hopefully you'll see the Werner that played in Germany.
Yeah, I think that's what we want. Get Paqueta on the cheap. Paqueta's not cheap. Not even close to being cheap. Did you see Mane's goal yesterday? I think it was. That's why Werner scored loads of goals. I don't know. Was it because they're in a crap league? I don't know. We didn't loan 100 million to keep it in the bank. This is true. We don't know what the 140 million was for, though. We just assumed it's for targets. What he says about him, that he's not a striker. I don't think Werner is an out-and-out striker. I think he's one of those inside right forwards or left forwards. That's why Chelsea signed him, because they like to play a 4-3-3. So he should have slipped into that formation quite comfortably.
It's like the Man City do it, don't they? I mean, I know they've got Haaland now, but they played regular last season where they didn't have an out-and-out striker.
Yeah.
So you had Foden in there. So that's what I'm thinking with Werner. It's like a similar thing. It's, I mean, I know we haven't got like Mahrez and whoever it was behind them, but I just think we're getting to the stage now. I mean, what's it, the 1st of August now?
Yeah, still got a month left of the window.
We've got a month left, but the time is ticking now. So we're gonna have to start like making one move in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, I still think there'll be lots of deals done on transfer deadline day because the teams that are refusing to sell at the moment that need money are going to get desperate.
Well, I spoke to somebody who said they reckon the final week of the deadline is when teams reduce their fees for their players, and that's when Newcastle made the move, just like they did in January.
Yeah,
and he said to me, he says he thinks the same thing will happen. He says we'll start buying the players last week.
Where does Maddison fit in the team? He'd probably fit in the three in the middle. You'd have Maddison, Bruno, and Joe Linton, and he could play further up on the right if we needed him to as well. Check his stats out, Michael. They're not actually as bad as you think they are. But again, he's look like Tommy apparently, Gary.
Tommy
Dickfingers. I don't know. We needed to snap some of these England ladies. What a great team! Yeah, they're levels above our women's team, I'm afraid. Chelsea used to have an end of source of money so that they could be very wasteful. Whoever they purchased, they still seem to be doing that. We need another goal scorer. Werner isn't that, but we need a winger, and Werner is that. ASM Wilson, Werner, nuts. Yeah, exactly. Tommy, oh God, come on. I don't want shit like that, Joe Linton. Nobody wants to be linked to that cunt. Gary looks like Shea Given, exactly.
Oh, no.
Thoughts on Max Corner coming in? Just spoke about him, Mr. Christopher Hughes. We would all take him, definitely. If it's true and if it happens, we just don't know, do we? We just get information, what we're told. That Badashell rumours seem to have gone quiet, which is a bit of a shame because I'd like to have seen him come in and Lascelles go out because he is a quality centre-back.
I think that'd be more for January next summertime.
I think so. Does Werner come to us as backup, though? I'm not sure he'll be happy being a backup behind Wilson. He'll be a backup striker as well as a winger, though. He'll still play. I think he even gets in front of Miggy, to be honest with you. I know Miggy's had a great pre-season, but I think Werner gets in there as well. 35 million, that 140 million back loan, in my eyes, is 175 million for transfers now and in January. Let's see. We don't know. Jonathan was a boss yesterday again. Yes, he was. When does the window close? 1st of September. We will be live all day to do a transfer deadline day special. Not an offensive way, Gary. I know you didn't mean it like that, but we just don't like that name on our screens. Crystal Palace.
I thought he was going to say Tommy Shelby, so I'm a bit good.
Yeah. I love it. Crystal Palace not letting go of anyone. No, they're doing well to keep them all. Our business model seems far more strategic than Man City's, that's for sure. They wasted hundreds of millions before they found the right solution. Exactly. Werner's not for Ryan. Cornet or Werner or both. We need strength and depth. Thoughts on Byrne, Botman, Shaw, Trippier as our back four.
I don't think you can leave Target out. You can't leave Target out.
Nah, Byrne will be back up for centre back and left back as well, to be fair. Now.
I mean, I don't care who you play with Botman, just play any of them.
Yeah,
I'm fine. Just as long as one of them plays Botman.
Apart from Jamal Lascelles. He gets still away.
He's getting bashed too much for my liking.
Lascelles is one of those, isn't it? He's like tight as Bramble. Woodgate made Bramble look good. Right? And I think Botman's like Woodgate. So hopefully if Lascelles does come in, because the other two were injured, then hopefully Botman makes him look a bit better than what he is.
Yeah, exactly. I still think Sesko's still on. It's a strange one. I hope they would go back in for that Leeds player. So Harrison has obviously gone quiet. I would still prefer Gilhart, to be honest with you, instead of Harrison, but I don't think Leeds will sell him. Women's England team didn't cheat and roll around like the men's team. Well said, Michael. They didn't. The refereeing was poor tonight. Very poor.
Terrible.
Absolutely shocking. Right. that's the end of the show. We've been on for longer than an hour, a bit longer than I expected. I've got work tomorrow, unfortunately. But if you've enjoyed it, please hit the subscribe button. It's been a great show, as always. Great chat. You guys have made the show go on a lot longer than what it normally does, so thank you for that. Please consider becoming a member. Top of the chat, there's a link. Click on it, and then you can get your membership. And read the channel description because it tells you what you get for your membership. And then if you'd like to donate before we end the show, bottom right hand corner, hit the $sign and donate what you would like, which goes back into the channel. PDP, what you got coming up?
I've got this Wednesday. I've got a Premier League prediction live show that is going to be with Jason from Keeping It Tuned. So
That'll
be
be
great to have him back on. So yeah, and I've got the usual live show on Friday night as well.
Awesome.
And we'll have, of course, preview to the Forest game as well.
Yes, got to work out what I'm doing mine for that. We'll be back. I'm actually doing a show on Monday, tomorrow night, 8:30 on a different channel. It's going to be a bit fun. Hey, the porn's back again. Block user. Jesus Christ. I don't know why they target me. I do not know. I mean, Jesus. Just look at my search history. I'm lost now. So yeah, tomorrow night, 8:30, I'll be live on someone else's channel. It's going to be a bit fun. There's loads of tweets out about it, so come and join it. Tuesday, I'm hoping to do a Premier League one if people reply to me. Nobody's replied to me yet. Wednesday, Gallagher Girls. Thursday, I think, will be the preview show to the preview game. I think we'll try and do it then, because I'm on night shift Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But I'll be doing a watch along on Saturday because I will get out of bed and I will put myself through the pain of having no sleep and watching the game. So I'm looking forward to that. Nobody can make themselves look good. That's harsh. Barry the Cells was head and shoulders shite yesterday. He wasn't shy. He was a 6 out of 10. How are we? Honestly, I don't get it. But please go and subscribe to PDP's channel as well. He's got some great stuff on there, especially the interviews after games and stuff like that.
Yeah, they'll be back as well.
Awesome.
You'll probably see another funny Archer moment.
Yeah, taking his top off, getting his hairy flab out. It's worth watching, guys. But thanks for joining us. Thanks for making the show again tonight. Thanks, Maro, Gary, and PDP as always. Until the transfer window shuts, we'll carry on doing this. But then when the transfer shuts, it gets a little bit different. So let's hope we bring in 2 more signings. How are the lads? Take care, everyone.